Hey, how's it going, everyone? Justin again, as always. Thanks for watching my channel. Welcome back. Cheers to those of you that have your beers, or in this case, mixed drinks. I'm drinking a little bit of Red Bull and Jaeger here. Having a good time on my Sunday, getting ready for the beginning of the next work week. I know. But today's discussion topic is going to be why you should get into the trades in 2020. And I'm not talking about just the mechanical trade, because those of you that know me, I'm sure you do. You know that I'm in the automotive trade, but you also know I have some roofing background. You know I have some framing background. You know I was in the solar fields with the electrician workers for a little bit. You know I was in an outside machinist for a little while. I've had my time and duty in the military, both in the Army as well as the Navy. But each step of the way I learned something a little bit different. In the Navy I learned a little bit about HVAC and plumbing. When I was a framer's helper I learned how to measure and cut. When I was a roofer, I learned how to replace shingles, tiles, TPO, hot tar, and even how to spackle and then clean up and mastic around things. I learned how to cut paper. I learned how to throw it down. I learned about brad nailers. I learned about framing nailers. I learned about staplers. I learned how to make decks. I learned how to create concrete patios. There was a time that I did concrete deconstruction. I did demolition and some of the sororities up there in Oregon, as well as fraternities. I learned a lot along the way throughout my 36 years of living, the 20 years that I've been working. I learned a lot. And in that time frame, I always was attached to the trade in some way, whether it be in the construction or it be in automotive. And I could tell you each one serves their purpose and each one prepares you for something a little bit different, even coming down to being your own homeowner. There are things in your house that you're gonna have to take care of at one point in time, and sometimes it's nice just to be able to take care of it without having to pay the extra money to pay somebody to come in. Could be putting the swamp cooler on the roof, which you guys have seen. Could be fixing a leaky roof. Could be fixing the filter that goes to your refrigerator if you have one that disperses water and ice. Could be from just fixing a clogged up toilet. Whatever the case may be, trade work is going to help you out in the long term. Now I know some of you guys out there, you probably work a desk job. Not all, but some of you guys probably work a desk job, or you work some kind of minuscule job because you're waiting to get to the next level. What's the next level for you? Well, that depends on what it is that you want to do. Is getting into trade work for you? Is it not for you? I think you're going to have to figure that out and figure out what kind of person that you are. Some guys get a lot of enjoyment at the end of the day from using their hands, getting down dirty and greasy, and then some guys get more enjoyment without having to get down dirty and greasy, but can still capitalize on their own income by making good money. I think most guys that get into trade work, though, they start off with this idea, okay, this dream of I'm going to work here for X period of time until I can own and establish and run my own business. Prime examples would be like a Jeremy Haasl, right? He's a Snap-on tool guy. He owns his own tool distribution truck. He goes around has a service where he delivers tools, quality price, right? Okay, so you already know how that works. Then you got people like Clay who own their own shop. Okay, they're starting to work on cars, big tractor trailer trucks, etc. And then we got Jay Young, who has a tractor supply store, but he also does tractor restoration. He does his own electronical diagnosis of the tractor, of excavators, of backhoes. He messes around with three-wheelers, quads, things like that. Basically anything that has wheels he can fix, and he does so in his own shop. But he's his own business owner too. Then we got people like Ken the Lawn Guy. Ken the Lawn Guy has his own lawn company. He does his own thing. We got Dick Skinner. Dick Skinner has his own company. Most of it has to do with like fuel wood, okay? So he's always cutting up wood, and he's got this big crews with big trucks, lots of chainsaws, lots of wood splitting equipment, things like that. And then of course he has to do all the maintenance on his own vehicles that he sends out, to include the trailers that he has. Then we got people that are like more DIY, but can also still work their way around a wrench or a nailer, like Andy Tailgate Tech, like Chris from Client Graphics. And then of course we got guys like Harley, Adam, who work for a motorcycle shop, okay? So they know how to do write-ups, things like that, but he also does his own DIY repair work to his own motorcycle, okay? He knows his way around a wrench, and he knows his way around some sockets and so forth. Whatever the case may be, getting into the trades is definitely going to be something that's going to be beneficial for you in the long run, because you can apply it to so many different things. I don't care if you're an automotive, I don't care if you're a motorcycle mechanic, I don't care if you're a framer's helper. You're going to learn a lot, and you're going to be able to apply that to the real world, okay? So that's why I think you should get into the trades. Reasons why you wouldn't want to get in the trades is going to come down to income. Sometimes trade work doesn't always provide you with a higher income, okay? We're talking low to maybe mediocre wages at that. it is a long-term play, as Nestor the Mechanic OC would say. It's a long-term play. You're going to start off at the bottom and you got to work your way up to the top. What's the top? Depends on you. Do you want to top out as a dealer tech? Do you want to top out as an independent tech? Do you want to top out as being a business owner and having your own business? The decision is yours to make as far as that stuff's concerned, but there is a top and then there is an end game. Some guys just want to make money from somebody else to pay their bills and save their own money. That's great. That's what you want to do. Other people want to shoot for the stars and get up to the top and own their own business. You can do that too. JRC54, he has his own shop. He's been able to do it for years. So kudos to these guys that have their own shops or even have their own businesses for that matter, because it is extremely stressful and there's a lot of things that are involved in that. Not just insurance, but you got material costs, you got tool expenditures, you got employees, you have to pay for in case they get hurt, things like that, workers' comp, etc. Then there's other liabilities that are associated with. I'll let these guys go ahead and throw their 2 cents down in the comments or even make their own response video to it and let you guys know what's all involved in being a business owner. I can tell you this though, if you're working for somebody right now but you think you might want to own your own business, whether it's in the same exact industry or another, nothing is going to make you more money than a truck. I'm going to put a picture down here to this truck that I got. Now this truck that I picked up, this was what, 6-7 years back. It's one of the first vehicles that I had actually bought after I moved out of my Pontiac Catalina because I was living in it. But I ended up buying this truck and formulating my own little LLC kind of roofing company. Now granted, I wasn't a contracted or a licensed contractor, but I knew that I could charge no more than $500 between material and labor for certain jobs. So I was able to actually make $100, $200 here and there. And I was able to make my money off this truck. Now this truck that I got, luckily for me, I was good friends with the person that he was dating, and she ended up selling it to me half up front and then 2 or 3 payments for the rest. So when I was working in the solar fields, I was able to actually pay her off. Now granted, I was only there for 3.5 weeks before we had a 60-person layoff. That shit happens, right? It happens in the trades. Those of you that are electrician workers or construction workers, you already know that there's reasons why there's unions in place. But you can get laid off at pretty much any given point in time, unless you work for a company or a corporation where you know that you're kind of locked into a contract, okay? It's very, very sketchy. That's another reason why you might not want to get into the trades, is because it might not always be consistent income and you might not always be able to rely on that income for your primary job. So some of you are going to have to do something different, whether it's to start up your own business or do something on the weekend to get your hustle on to make the money. But a truck is going to make you tons of money. A truck will make you more money than a car 9 times out of 10. Now I'm going to disclude Uber drivers and delivery drivers from this, okay? We're just talking about what you can do with a truck. You can actually help people move. You can do dump hauls. You can do firewood. You can do construction, okay? If you work for a construction crew and you have a truck, that's going to be 2 thumbs up, because some of these guys, they need you to run and get materials and load it up and bring it to the job site. They might require you to have your own tools. You might need a place to actually store those tools, so a job box in the back of your truck might be beneficial for you to have. Whatever the case may be, a truck will always continue to make you money. Now, why do people get into the trade work? So a lot of people get a lot of enjoyment, like I said, working with their hands, getting down, dirty, and greasy every day, and it brings us fulfillment. Other people are more fulfilled with having a desk job, and they feel like they've done enough for the day, but they still make decent or better money sometimes. But those of us in the trade, you'll notice that a lot of us work hard and play harder, okay? We work really, really hard during the week so we can play like demons on the weekend, okay? Whether it's poker, whether it's going out and having some drinks with your guys, whether it's going to a sporting live event, whatever the case may be, a lot of us just want to actually enjoy the fruits of our own labor. And I think the people that are in the trade work actually enjoy that more than people that are not in trade work. But that's all I got for this video, guys. Look, if you agree with me, put it down below, hit the thumbs up. If you didn't agree with me, hit the thumbs down. Tell me why down below. But I'd like to hear some of your feedback. Do you think it's worth getting into the trades during 2020? Be it automotive, be it construction, be it electrical, etc. Do you think it's worth being in the trades? Do you think the money's there? Do you think it's a good investment? Or do you think it's a bad idea and you should avoid the trade work because it's not going to make you the amount of money that you think it will, and you can do something else that could potentially make you more money to better take care of your family? I want to know. That's all I got for this video. Thanks as always for watching. Again, cheers to those of you that have your beers, and I hope you're enjoying your Sunday. We'll see you guys next time. Deuces.